Over the next year or so while Nicky finished his time at school, his mum made sure he had a secret little stash of pull-ups, along with some plain girls' panties and girls' vest tops. She never mentioned these to him, they just appeared in his drawer with her hoping he would wear them sometimes. She always inspected his new underwear before washing them, finding great pleasure in finding the odd little naughty omission in them. She knew he was enjoying the panties and vests as she would check on him secretly when he was dressing or undressing each day. The one thing that did surprise her now and then was to find a slightly wet pull-up in the bin. So much so that she bought him a proper closing nappy pail to put the wet ones in. It was inevitable that his sister eventually found out about his little secrets, but she was not bothered and never said a thing about it. She was growing up fast herself and more interested in her own life than what her mum and Nicky were up to. The next morning she was due to go away with the school for a few weeks traveling as part of one of her courses. So back to the evening in question, where Nicky found himself watching a film as ever with his sister and mum. "Once this is finished," said his mum, "I am going to drop Kathy off at her friend's ready for her trip in the morning." "That's fine," I replied. "I will wait around until you get back, then I will head off myself I guess." Mum never replied, she just waited for the film to end then got up and left the room. My sister soon following her after giving me a kiss on the cheek first and saying to me, "Have fun, little brother." I glared at her, she loved to call me little brother even though I was the elder. But I figured she was just messing around and left it at that. I had them loading the car up and leaving soon after. Mum was thinking she missed having fun and did not get much satisfaction herself now things were just left to her and her 2 children. But now that Nicky was grown up she wanted to see exactly how naughty he wanted to be. Reading through some of the things that Nicky had been reading about, she figured that he would be up for most things. It was about 20 minutes later that Mum returned, walking into the living room and smiling to herself. I was about to get up to leave when Mum interrupted me. "You're off tomorrow, sweetie, so why don't you spend the night here? You can sleep in your sister's room as she is gone. I am sure we can find you something to wear." "You know, Nicky, most of Kathy's old clothes would actually fit you, honey," said Mum. "Her cute little training bras, panties, dresses, uniform and even her nighties would fit you for sure." It was then that I knew that Mum wanted to play and my sister had prior knowledge of this. With all these newfound items there was one mistake that I could have made that would land me in a very awkward situation in the future. I had remembered the day I had accidentally left my computer switched on, when I had been at school and Mummy had been home for the day. Now, this had not have been such a big deal if I had only remembered to clear the computer browsing history. However, this day I had decided to do an update and had foolishly not cleared the previous evening's activity. When I arrived home from school there was a little message on my desk. It read the following. "Peter, I have left your dinner in the fridge for you to warm up and I have gone shopping with Charlotte. Your computer finished updating and I switched it off for you after borrowing it. Do a little online shopping. With love, Mummy." Now all of this may not have been such an issue. Except she never ever signed notes, Mummy. As well as this she very rarely used my computer and only then if I was around. However, nothing else crossed my mind, so for now I just left it. I made my dinner and relaxed whilst watching television and daydreaming. I was only awoken from my daydreams by the return of Mummy. I wondered why Charlotte was not with her. However, I soon found out that she was staying over with friends for the weekend. Mummy came into the house and shouted upstairs to me to see what I was up to. Not long after that she came up and asked me if everything was okay, to which I replied yes. I was only then that Mummy dropped a big bombshell.